Well, regulation time settled nothing, and this best-of-7 opening round series between the Peterborough Petes and the St. Michael's Majors will come down to one shot, one goal in overtime. Sudden death overtime is coming up. 2-2, the Petes and the Majors tied after regulation time, tied 3-3 in this best-of-7 series, and what a great way to end this series. Tough to take if you're a fan of one of the two teams, but what a great hockey game tonight we're seeing at St. Michael's College School Arena. Brian Simpson in studio with us now. Brian is a former St. Michael's Major, now at the University of Toronto. Another good example of life after junior hockey, how it continues, and a lot of guys do well. Brian, it's great to see you again, and nice to see you back in this building. What's it like watching some of your former teammates out there?
It's different, it's kind of tough. You get a lot of emotions. It's only been one season since I played in this building, and just kind of see it out there. I got here just at the beginning of the first period, and just feel like you just want to lace up the skates and get out there and start playing with all the guys. And I'm still really good friends with many guys on the team, and talk to them all the time. And it's tough. My emotions out there with all the guys on the team.
Brian, what's it been like for you at the University of Toronto? Of course, we hear from players who move up to the NHL ranks, or they go on to other facets of life, but you've managed to combine moving on, getting an education, and playing hockey with a pretty good hockey club. 9th-ranked team in the country. You must be doing all right.
Yeah, it's a tough adjustment to make going from the OHL up into the CIAU, but, many players have done it, and I have a couple friends on the team that have done it themselves, and, I think it starts off a little bit rocky and a little bit tough. It's a different style of hockey, which is going to be the difference. But, overall, we're doing really well. We have a really good team, really young team. And, there's only a bright future ahead of us. So,
what's it like for you playing in that league with a lot of other former CHL players? I think in the entire CIU, you mentioned there's only a couple of players on your team that had St. Mike's experience, but I think there's 330 players in the CIU played somewhere in the Canadian Hockey League. So, it's a pretty high level of play, isn't it?
It is. You see guys out there, from playing in the OHL and then going there, you don't realize it at first, but once you start playing all the teams, you notice guys that you've played against in the past in the OHL and around the league like that. And there's a lot of good young players in there. There's a couple goaltenders from Troy Riviere that they're probably going to sign in the NHL this year, and the list goes on and on of people that have played in the CHL that are now playing in the University League. What's
it like at U of T academically for you? I know going to St. Mike's, of course, is quite an experience. Playing in the OHL is demanding, trying to juggle academics, so you can qualify to go to university and manage to play junior hockey. But now you're back in a little different thing. Of course, education is the focus there, but CIAU, even though it's not an OHL schedule, is still fairly demanding. What's that been like for you?
It is. Well, it's the same demanding as the OHL. We still practice every day. We're on the ice 6 or 7 times a week. And, the big difference now is school is more in the forefront than it was playing in the OHL. And, that's the way it's gonna be. I'm just moving on another stage in my life now. Hockey is still very important to me, but school is also very important now also. And along with that just comes the time of adjustment. You start off, you may be a little bit rocky early on. Like last year was a little bit tough for me, and as long as you keep trying to improve, then that's the big difference.
What are you taking at the U of T? And we talked off air. You have a general arts program, but anything in particular strike your interest, or you're right now just getting your feet wet in university life?
I think right now I'm still trying to adjust. It's tough to do. I didn't realize that at first, but not only being able to do well in your classes, but also trying to enjoy the classes is a big difference. So as of right now, I'm just taking my calculus and poli-sci and English class and just trying to feel out the university and the different kind of programs that I can get into.
Well, Brian, it's great to see a former player doing well, going to university and combining education and hockey, continuing at the university level. Best of luck to you, and enjoy the overtime with the rest of us tonight.
Thank you very much.
That's Brian Simpson, former Major and U of T Blue. It's 2-2. We're in overtime. We're going to take a short break, but don't go away. Tim and John will be back with their analysis of what we've seen over the first 60 minutes. And still to come, overtime. Who wins this series? We'll find out shortly. This is OHL Primetime.